Iturrizaga Bonelli opts for the English opening King's English variation against Zhu in this Grand Prix Pluscity Open Austrian Team Rapid Championship Round 4 matchup. On c4. On e5. On g3. On d6. Bishop g2. On f5. Knight c3. Knight f6. On d4. Knight bd7. Knight f3. On e4. Threatening pawn takes f3. Knight g5 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Iturrizaga Bonelli might go for Knight e6. Queen e7. Knight takes c7 check and dominate the board. Knight b6 played by Zhu. On b3. On h6. Threatening pawn takes g5. Knight h3 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. On g5. King castled kingside. Bishop g7. On f3. On takes f3. On takes f3. King castled kingside. Queen d3. Bishop d7. It is novelty move. On f4. Iturrizaga Bonelli might go for on takes g5. On takes g5. Bishop takes g5 and dominate the board. On g4 played by Zhu. Threatening pawn takes h3. Knight f2 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Threatening bishop takes b7. On c6 played by Zhu. Bishop a3. Threatening bishop takes d6. Queen c7 played by Zhu. Knight fd1. Rook f7. Knight e3. Iturrizaga Bonelli's idea is to play Knight takes f5. Bishop takes f5. Queen takes f5 and dominate the board. Rook e8 played by Zhu. Rook ad1. Knight c8. Rook fe1. Iturrizaga Bonelli wants to play Knight takes f5. Rook takes e1 check. Rook takes e1 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen a5 played by Zhu. Threatening queen takes a3. Bishop b2 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Rook fe7. Rook e2. Rook f7. Rook de1. Knight h7. King f1. Knight f8. On a3. Queen d8. On b4. On a6. King f2. On h5. On a4. Queen b6. Knight c2. Rook takes e2 check. Rook takes e2. On a5. Threatening pawn takes b4. On b5 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Rook e7. Bishop a3. Rook takes e2 check. Knight takes e2. On c5. On takes c5. On takes c5. Queen d5 check. Bishop e6. Threatening bishop takes d5. Queen takes c5 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Queen takes c5 check. Bishop takes c5. On b6. Threatening pawn takes c5. Bishop e3 played by Iturrizaga Bonelli. Bishop takes c4. Knight cd4. Threatening knight takes f5. Knight d6 played by Zhu. Knight c3. Knight d7. Bishop d5 check. Bishop takes d5. Knight takes d5. King f7. King e2. Bishop f6. Knight c6. Threatening knight takes b6. Knight c4 played by Zhu. Bishop f2. Think carefully what is the best move for Zhu. King e6 is logical continuation as knight takes f6. King takes f6. Bishop d4 check. King e6. King d3. Knight d6 position is equal. Let's go to the main variation. Bishop f2. Knight b2 is an inaccurate played by Zhu. Knight takes b6. Knight takes b6. Bishop takes b6. Knight takes a4. Bishop takes a5. King e6. Pawn b6. Iturrizaga Bonelli might go for pawn b7. Pawn h4. Pawn promotes to queen at b8 and establish a winning position. Knight c5 played by Zhu. Bishop b4. King d5. Bishop takes c5. King takes c6. King d3. Pawn h4. King c4. Pawn takes g3. Pawn takes g3. Bishop d8. Bishop d4. Bishop e7. Bishop f2. Bishop d6. Bishop e3. Stop here and find the strongest move for Zhu. Bishop a3 is best move here because pawn b7. King takes b7. King d5. Bishop b4. Bishop f2. King c7. Still Zhu is losing. Let's analyze the main game. Bishop e3. Bishop b8 is an inaccurate played by Zhu. Bishop c5. Iturrizaga Bonelli wants to play King b4. King d5. King b5. King e4. King c6 and secure a stronghold in the game. King b7 played by Zhu. King b5. Iturrizaga Bonelli intends to play Bishop b4. Bishop c7. Pawn takes c7 and secure a stronghold in the game. King c8 played by Zhu. King c6. Iturrizaga Bonelli secured the win in style.